Greetings, fellow pals and gals of the YouTube world. It's your boy, the Wolfhammer25, and we are back for another riveting section of Figure Friday. For tonight's episode, it's episode 6, and I would very much like to say, before we begin, I do hope that you had an awesome day. I hope that you just stared life in the face and just said, "Bring me your best shot." And I hope that you kicked its ass, because I know you did, because I want you to know that you're awesome and that you know what you're doing, you can make it, and you know it. Keep your head up, keep your chin strong, and just like I know you guys, always keep going, because I know you can. But I would very much like to be the first to welcome you guys to this episode in particular. I want to let you guys know before we get started. If you haven't already, please do your boy a favor. Go get something to eat. Go get something to drink. A snack or two if you want. Something, just anything to help. Keep your fluids up. You gotta keep your fluids up, and then keep your strength up and everything. And also food always comes in handy. Please feel free. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Go ahead. As you know, it's just you, me, and the merchandise of tonight. That's a good tea. Oh, goodness. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, boy. That I gotta tell you. Work about killed me today. Oh. Sorry. A little bit excited to introduce the merch tonight. I ain't gonna lie. I got some good finds, and I think you guys are gonna be happy with it too. Let me just get one more swig of this wig, and I do hope that you guys have done the same. I had to wet the whistle right there, because as you know, if I'm gonna do a loud talking, I gotta be able to keep my whistle clean. That way you guys can hear me clearly, and of course clearly and smooth. So, I do hope that you guys have done your boy a favor. I hope you guys have something to snack on, and if you've already eaten, I hope you enjoyed your meal, and I hope that it was delicious and that it was nutritious as well. But even then, if it was just junk food, that's also okay. Anyways, moving on. So, for tonight is actually going to be it's going to be all about the Funkos tonight, folks. I do have new figures to introduce, but I'm saving those for next week, and there's a reason for that. You'll see why. So please, I invite you to stay tuned for that, and make sure you look forward to that next episode. But for tonight, we will be taking a step into let me see here, about 4 different worlds today, folks. Today we'll be including worlds from movies, from anime, from sports, and also music. That's right, folks. 4 different sections of the world we're going to study today, and 4 worlds worth of facts that I will be sharing with you guys tonight. So I invite you to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, take a breath of relief, put your hands behind your back, just fall out, Just you, me, and the merch. Sorry, I apologize. That's become one of my new favorite sayings. I like it. I like the way it kind of rolls off the tongue, anyways. But, for the first world we're going to stop today is going to be the world of music. Now, I know I've already introduced one already, but I figured that I'd go ahead and introduce the next one in line. Individual. Like the one that I had introduced before, he is also a rapper, he's also an actor, and he's also a writer. Now, this other one, he grew up in a different part of the world, much like his counterpart. This one, he grew up in Brooklyn, New York. He was born in the 1990s, and of course, like his counterpart, his life was cut short at such an early age. I believe he was in his 20s, if I read right today, because I was able to read up on most of the funks that I'm bringing to you guys today. So hopefully I won't stutter, and if I do, I apologize about that. Excuse me. Oh, my apologies, folks. But yeah. this particular individual, like the first one that I introduced, he did have a label, which of course most people knew him by. His, however, I believe was Bad Boy Records, and he did wage somewhat of a coastal beef with the first one that I had introduced in the previous episode, and he, as I said, he like the other one, he was also gunned down in his early age of his prime, and I kind of felt bad for it because he was on his way to, he was just out for a night on the town. He was just on his way exploring the town, enjoying it with his friends, his crew, and unfortunately, just in a moment of hesitation, he lost his life during a stoplight, and of course, he was gunned down. Oh man, I gotta tell you, over time, the more I learned about him, the more that I found out he had kind of a tragic upbringing because um, in a younger age he was teased a lot because of his weight because he just and at the same time he fell into it with a bad crowd. He was introduced to the game of slanging, which of course that kind of in a way helped him to get the money, but in a way it was bad also because it was found by his mother, and of course that made her lose all trust in everything that she had given to him. But in doing so, he was able to make amends by doing. He was trying to spread his words through his lyrics, which of course some um, kind of off topic, or if you will, not really so much as spreading positivity, if you will, but just kind of telling his life story. But this particular individual, I do recognize him by some of his music, such as Juicy, and I do know he did do some other songs with Tupac, such as Runnin' or Running, one of those, I can't remember. But I also do know that one of his most famous songs, which of course everybody bumps to this day, which of course is called Big Papa. And of course, his name, Christopher George Latore Wallace, but a lot of other people know him by another name, the Notorious B.I.G. That's right, folks, the rapper himself, Funkorized. Now then, let me just get you, Mr. Admin. Thank you, Mr. B.I.G. Thank you. Just put that box right there just for a second. Okay. Perfect. Now, there were three other versions of this Funko, but I snagged the one where he's rocking his trademark fedora, and of course the jewelry that he's wearing. I believe that was what he was wearing last time when the events of his homicide had happened. They ruled it as a homicide, but we all know it was a shooting, which of course they never really found his murder nor Tupac's murder. And I know, I mean, I hope they do because really, I mean, or if they did already, I apologize, folks. But I know that he was recording his second album, I believe, before the events of that happened. Um, his wife was Faith Hill. He did have two children, and I believe his life was cut short at the age of 24, 25, I think, something like that, somewhere around that age. But he was well known by not by his antics or whatever, but mostly by his music, which of course people knew him also like uh, by the Notorious B.I.G. name, but other people knew him, of course, by Chris or Christopher. But I do know that he is another one of my favorites because I respected his music because not so much. I couldn't really pick up on the message he was trying to pick up, but it's like the beats they were catchy. I liked it honestly, and I mean I'm happy that I did because turns out I liked it because I didn't think I was gonna like it the first time I listened to his music, which was the first song that I ever heard from him, which of course was Big Papa. The more I got into it, I read much more of his life story, and I read the fact that he did make a few songs with his wife Faith Hill, and I know that there were songs made by Faith Hill by herself, which of course were dedicated to Chris. And I listened to a couple of them, and they were amazing. They were beautiful. But anyways, why don't we just move on now? For the next step, we're going to be taking a trip into the world of anime. Now, I've already introduced this lady before, but the first time I introduced her was in figure form. Now, I'm going to be introducing her as the Funko form. She's hailing from the oh goodness, forgive me. She's hailing from the world of Dragon Ball Z, and as I said, she is a brilliant inventor, a very smart scientist. She works for one of the most well-known companies in the DBZ era, which of course is known as the Capsule Corp. And of course, mother to Trunks and wife to the Super Saiyan Prince known as Vegeta. But of course, everybody knows her. A lot of nicknames, if you will. She was first cited in the world of Dragon Ball. The very first world of Dragon Ball, which of course is one of another one of my favorite childhood shows, frolicking with my friends. But I'm sure I probably flashed it right there. So why not just give you guys a heads up? It's Bulma. That's right, folks, Bulma. Now, I felt skeptical about her at first because I didn't really believe the fact that she could ever want to be with a guy like Vegeta, because at the time when they first met, Vegeta, he was disrespecting her. He just kept calling her woman. But there were instances where he actually called her by her first name, which of course that I'm assuming was probably a clincher, which is why she got with him in the first place. Not because of his power, not because of the fact that he gave his life so many times, but also it's that she was brought to him by one of his greatest enemies, which of course is Kakarot, of course known as Goku. But I want to just get her on her little platform here, and you guys can see her. Get in there, you little shoe. Come on. Just relax, There she is, Miss Bulma Briefs. I don't know what she's pointing at. I mean, other than you guys, letting you guys know that you're awesome and we appreciate you being here. Yeah. Let me just set you right over here next to Biggie. Are you gonna stand up? Are you gonna stand up? Are you gonna stand up? I'm asking. Are you gonna stand up? Easy. Okay. Easy. Okay. As I said, she is a brilliant scientist. She has been one of the more well-known ladies in the world of Dragon Ball Z, and she almost fell, but I caught her. Woo! Quick, fast, lightning spider reflexes here, saving the day once again. And I do know that she's not the wife of Vegeta, but she's also the father of the owner of the Capsule Corporation, which of course is Dr. Briefs. And I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that so many of her well-known little machines and her little capsules were introduced in the first previous world of Dragon Ball, like such as her bicycle, and I do know that she did make an Uzi out of one of them, and I can't remember. I think she made her spaceship too out of the capsule. It's been so long since I've seen the world of Dragon Ball, folks. You gotta bear with me here, okay? But excuse me. Sorry. Let me get this away here real quick, folks. Real quick. Oh boy. Excuse me. Okay. Now then, one interesting fact about Bulma is during the one of my favorites thing about her is that I remember the very first time that her and Goku met was actually when the first time I learned how savage Goku was, because there was an instance where Bulma was a lot younger. She was rocking this trademark skirt that she was always wearing. So I'm assuming that she offered him something in exchange for the Dragon Ball that Goku had planned, because I remember she tried to flash Goku, a shot of her panties, and I don't remember the words correctly, but I do believe his words, Goku's words, were why would I give you the Dragon Ball, or why would I want to see your saggy butt, or something like that. And she just went off on him, really. That was probably one of the more memorable moments between Goku and Bulma, which of course I know there's many of them. Don't get me wrong, but that's best saved for another time because I'll probably get all nostalgic on you guys, and I don't want to bore you with that. I mean I do, but at the same time, we do have two more Funkos. We do have to move on. But don't worry, Bulma. There will be many more embarrassing moments for you because I know there are many to talk about. Now, for the next trip we're going to be taking is going to be taking into the world of sports. And again, I have introduced this gentleman already. I showed you guys a statue of him not too long ago, a while back in one of my episodes. Um, he did play for the Chicago Bulls. He did have a trademark all on his own. He is the owner of an NBA team today, which of course is back in the world of Charlotte. He is an actor. He is one of the GOATs of the NBA hardwood. But see, the thing is that we're not going to be introducing the kind of the current day of this particular individual. Nah, we're taking it a little bit back, a little back. Would you spit the word out, please? We're gonna take it back a little bit further into his college days. That's right, folks. We're gonna be introducing Michael Jordan. Now, this was before he got into the world of the NBA. This was actually in his college days, where he played at the prestigious UNC, University of North Carolina, which of course that was the promise that he did make to his father before he died. This box. Now, taking it back to the world of the University of North Carolina, Mr. Jordan here, he actually played during the summer, which of course was before his senior year in high school. He attended the basketball camp where he met the scout for the UNC. Now, playing for the Tar Heels, it was actually where, as a freshman in college, I do believe is where he got his first taste of the NBA career. And I do love the fact that he's rocking that patented blue and white. He's got, of course, got that basketball right there, always handy because MJ is always a man of the sport. I do appreciate the fact that next to Kobe Bryant, hey, rest in peace, Kobe. Next to Kobe Bryant, him and Michael Jordan, they served as a big inspiration, which of course to many of the world, and of course to me as well, because they both inspired me to pick up the sport of basketball. And I started back in 6th grade. I played for about 5 or 6 years, and I gotta tell you, I never get tired of the sport. Heck, even sometimes when I have free time, I'll just go out. I'll start hooping. I mean, it's just one of the many sports that I've come to respect, and I'm always really willing to play because it is one of my favorite sports in the entire world. And interesting fact about the college jersey that Mr. Jordan is rocking here, it was the last jersey he wore because I remember he sank the game-winning shot in the NCAA 1982 championship, which of course it solidified his college careers and his college win. And I do believe in one of his college games was where the first time he did his patented side cradle and of course into a dunk, which of course is one of my favorites. Other than of course the jumping from the free throw line, but that's best third for another time. We're talking about the college MJ here, and I do believe that he did meet other players who also went on to the NBA. I know one of them was James Worthy. I can't remember the other two for the life of me, but I do know they were all NBA famous. Now, last but not least, we're going to be stepping into the final world of movies. Now, this the year 1979. It's set in the world of New York City, but the thing is, it's kind of in the midst of a bunch of gang wars. Now, this one, however, what I liked about it is each gang had was represented by their colors, right? Not, I mean, like, because they wore different attires. My apologies if that came off wrong. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, really. It's just that This one in particular was my favorite because this one, the crew that this guy was hailing from, his crew, however, was really a struggle because during a conclave of every crew that was there, it was only about 9 people from each crew, and I know there was a whole heck of a lot more due to the fact that it filled up an entire park, and altogether it was the equal. It was. Let me put it to you this way, folks. If every gang was to get together in this particular film and work together, they would outweigh the police heavily, and they could have taken over the city if they wanted to, but they didn't. Instead, the big leader of the biggest gang in the city, which of course was called the Riffs, the leader was actually killed during the conclave, and this particular gentleman here, his crew was blamed for it, even though it wasn't really his fault. This is coming from the 1979 hit movie The Warriors. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Swan. He's one of a crew of about, I do believe there was more than 10 or 15 of the crew, but I always liked Swan because of his calm demeanor. He was always cool and collected until, of course, he was always business related until when it came down to it. He was always ready for a fight, and I know he took up the mantle of the leader whenever the first one, however, which of course was caught by the police. Oh no, wait, scratch that. Sorry. He was actually he actually got stuck in the crowd during the scatter, which of course when the head leader of the Riffs was killed, and nobody really know what happened to him. I saw that he was getting almost beaten to death by one of the crews, but that's all I know, because the police busted it up, and hey, other crews had to scatter. But this guy, he took up the mantle of what was known as War Chief, which of course is what they called the leader back in the day. But let me give you guys a look at him. Sorry. What I loved about this film is the fact that it kind of gave us a look at what it was like back in the 1970s, back in Coney Island, New York. Now, he is rocking that trademark red vest that his crew, the Warriors, were called, because that's the name of the film. I don't know why I didn't mention that. Now, what makes their struggle so memorable to me is the fact that they were able to fight their way back home to Coney, as of course the conclave took place in another part of the city, which of course was deeper and further away from their homeland, which of course was Coney Island. And I know they had to fight tooth and nails to get there. They had to take on a number of crews, all the way down to such as the very crew who took the life of the leader known as Cyrus, which of course was also called, what's the name? No, that was the rest. My apologies. The leader of the one who killed Cyrus, I know his name was Luther. And he was, in a way, I kind of felt like he was just off his meds, or if he was just on one of those national highs, because he seemed to thrive on destruction and just chaos and death. And I do know that he always did the 3 bottles trick. I'm assuming to him that was like an intimidation factor of some sort, but if it wasn't for the fact that for the final showdown, which of course it took place on the beach, old Swan here, he was able to pull a trick out of his hand, which of course he kept the switchblade in his back pocket, and just before Luther had a gun on him, I do know that the transition that took place was actually pretty crazy, I won't lie, because just as he pulled the trigger, Swan sidestepped, and he was able to chuck the knife and hit Luther right in the wrist right here. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie, that was just awesome. But yeah, that was one of my favorite movies. I still watch it to this day. Really, it's just a great movie. I highly recommend it. 5 stars. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the broadcast short right here. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the merch that I was able to bring tonight, and I do hope that you also have a great night. Feel free to hit the follow button when it is posted shortly. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay awesome, stay weird, and stay yourselves, huh?